I read this headline today, which was about OpenAI giving its employees a week off to rest and recuperate because they have been working more than 80 hours per week, while OpenAI tries to reach something called artificial general intelligence. And in the same week, we have had Meta offered the same employees $100 million allegedly as a signing bonus to poach these employees away. It's safe to assume that both of these companies understand the importance of AGI. But what is it? At this point, this is getting so heated up that even our cats feel a little nervous. All this corporate drama is related to something that is even bigger, and that is this race to build an artificial general intelligence. You might think, wait, what is the difference between artificial general intelligence and generative AI that we already have, like ChatGPT, or those weird pizza fantasy making AIs like, Mid-Journey? Let's try to break it down. Hi, I'm Ronnie, and welcome to Predictably Clueless. Generative AI. These are today's AI tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E, things that can generate stuff, images, music, code, or even poems about cats with imposter syndrome. But here's the thing, it doesn't really understand it. Generative AI is basically a very confident parrot with access to the entire internet. It's great at predicting what should come next based on what it has seen before, but it doesn't even know what it's saying even when it feels so. It's like making a cooking bot with all the ingredients, all the cooking methods, and then giving it all the recipes that exist. So it's not just able to make all the recipes that exist, it's also able to extrapolate using those recipes, those ingredients, and those techniques to make new multi-cuisine dishes. And that's great. That's almost like us. But at the end, it cannot taste it. It doesn't have that feeling of what the food would end up like. So it can give disastrous recommendations, like there was a case where maybe it was Gemini that was suggesting people to eat stones. It doesn't make sense because it just doesn't understand that stone is inedible. To think of it in short, generative AI can write, draw, summarize things, it can suggest things, but what it can't do is it can't feel, it can't understand, it can't plan in such a detail as we can. Let's now talk about artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence, as we know, it's not been built. It's not OpenAI, not Meta, not Elon Musk's secret robotic dungeon chamber, whatever it is. No one has it. Everybody wants it though, because it will be like infinite scalable workforce. You'll have these bots in anywhere you want. They'll have the same thinking capability. Even if it is about 100 IQ general human, that's still a significant portion of workforce that can be replaced. These infinite workforce that you now have, you'll be able to use them to make even more faster and better artificial general intelligence. And since it's scalable, it's going to have an exponential rise where now, let's say the technological progress is going at a constant pace up and up and up. Once we reach AGI, there's going to be an exponential curve upwards to how fast everything will start being processed and being done. And that is what all these companies are aiming for, because they will become the biggest company in the world, the richest people in the world, once we reach artificial general intelligence. Will we end up with a Skynet and be killed? Maybe. But at the moment, there are no checks and balances, at least specifically in US. So we'll just have to hope that nothing bad happens. Okay, now that we have defined what is AI and what is AGI, let's try to talk about some of the misconceptions that are going around on social media. Is ChatGPT an AGI? No, it just sounds smart, and if you ask it to reason, maybe it'll give it a go, but it wouldn't be able to do it with zero data, and that is something AGI will be able to do. It'll be able to look out for data and then it'll be able to process it and create something meaningful. Generative AI does not. It just has tons and tons of data, and when you give it a prompt, it just looks for something that corresponds to your prompt and then gives out an output. Will it arrive the next year? Also probably no. It's highly unlikely. Most experts say we are decades away. Maybe when editing we'll pull up an exact figure, but we are still magnitudes away from brains. Our brain has very condensed processing units. It goes into trillions, while computers are still in billions. So the amount of gap that we still have between a human brain and an AI's processing power, it's still at least 2 magnitudes difference. So yeah, we still have a way to go to reach an artificial general intelligence. And then another common misconception is, will AGI look like humanoid robot? And again, that's not the case. I know in movies, general purpose AI is denoted as a robot, but it might just be an operating system like Windows, for example, in a robot, or any kind of device. If it shows up like, it's just going to be a code on a server running in the background or on a computer, but computers, probably the ones you use at home, won't have enough processing power for such a complicated machine. Again, it will probably not look like humanoid, just going to be a very smart computer. At that point, we'll have to talk about if it's conscious or not when we get there. If you have any more questions, any more myths that you have heard on social media about AGI, please leave it for me in comments below, and I'll try to reply as best as I know about it. So what about the future? Generative AI, it definitely is improving fast. The complex systems that have been created using generative AI, they can process image, they can process videos, reasoning, and this toolbox that we are getting, it is increasing exponentially day after day as more and more people get into AI. With artificial general intelligence, what we would do is we would go from Google, help me write an email, to AI, solve climate change, and find optimal way of living life. It won't have all the answers, it won't have all the data, but it'll know where to find the data it needs, and it'll probably know where or how to reach an answer just the same way we would approach it. So here's the cheat sheet. Generative AI, it's good at making stuff. It was a parrot with access to all of the internet. It really just has a ton of data. It can make connections and then output it out, but it does not understand what it's giving out. Right now, we are working with the parrot example, that even if it's copy pasting out some response, it's doing it very efficiently. The difference would be once we reach artificial general intelligence, it'll be able to think for itself, and it wouldn't need a lot of prompts. It'll just understand intuitively where you are and what you're trying to do and connect all the dots in the middle. So thank you for joining again. If you do like content like this, again, just to keep up with all this madness, I do plan to create more videos more frequently now, hopefully 1 a week to start with, because again, I do have a day job as well. And if it does work out, then we'll try to make it more frequent in future. So thank you. This was Predictably Clueless. If you have any questions, doesn't matter how easy or dumb or difficult you might feel it is, please leave it down in the comments below.
Like and subscribe.